This might be the funniest cake you'll ever bake. It's called Maulwurfkuchen in Germany and it translates to mole cake. It's usually a cake that is often baked for kids' birthday parties, but I think it's also a good cake for someone who likes golfing. So what you need for this recipe is some flour, sugar, salt, a little bit of vanilla sugar, and how to make vanilla sugar is here in this link. And if you don't want to use vanilla sugar, you can as well use just a little bit of your vanilla extract. Then you need a bit of milk, some butter, eggs, cocoa powder, chocolate sprinkles, baking powder. This I will need a little later, I'll get to that soon, and some bananas. So there will be needed some more ingredients for the filling, but I will get to that later. I'll start with the butter. And I start to whisk this and then I will slowly add the sugar. Now I will slowly add the eggs and then the milk. Now I take the flour, the baking powder, a pinch of salt, then I'm adding some of the vanilla sugar, and I like to be generous with that. So I'm using 2 teaspoons where only 1 is needed. I'm also adding the cocoa powder. I mix this. And this now goes into the other ingredients. Now I'm also adding the sprinkles, and I stir this in. And then this goes into a baking pan, and I will bake it at 180 degrees Celsius, which is 350 degrees Fahrenheit. And the baking pan, of course, is greased. The cake is baked, it needs to cool a little. Let's take a look at the ingredients for the filling. So you need whipping cream, some more of the vanilla sugar, Sahnesteif. This is a stabilizer. I get this from Germany and I use it a lot. You see I have 2 of them already opened. You can get this at Amazon. It's called Stabilizer. I will put a link below in the video description and also on the blog post. The stabilizer will make sure that the whipped cream will stay in its shape. So it's quite important. If you can't get it or you just can't get it in time, instead you can use a little bit of cornstarch. Then I have some sprinkles again, and for the mole, I definitely need a mole on this one. I have the marzipan and some pink and brown food dye to make this look very realistic, well, as good as I can. You put this aside and just start with whipping the cream. So the bananas, I mentioned them before, they will also be part of the filling. So I will whip this cream and add some vanilla sugar to it. Okay, Okay, that looks good. Make sure you don't whip it too long, otherwise you will end up with some butter. As you could see, I was adding the stabilizer while I was whipping the cream, so I started to add it when it started to become a little firm. Now I'm adding these sprinkles and mix them in. And if you want to use a little more sugar on the cream, that's fine with me. In Germany, we don't use that much sugar, but I know most Americans are used to a lot more sugar, and once your taste has adjusted to that, most things might not taste as good if there's not as much sugar in it. So that's just a difference. Let me see how much sugar I added. It's just right for me. All right. So now the fun part. Now I'm the mole. I'll start digging into this cake. So I'll leave about 1/2 inch or 1 centimeter of a rim, but the center and everything in there will be carved out. Not all the way to the bottom though. So here you can see how far I will go. And I just put this into a bowl. Okay, and I like to press the remaining cake here a little bit down to make sure it will hold its shape once I'm cutting the cake. All right. So now the filling will start with the bananas, but I prefer to start with a little layer of the cream just to make sure everything sticks well to the bottom. So I'm adding a little bit of that cream. So now it's time to add the bananas. And I recently watched a documentary about bananas, and I highly recommend that you wash your hands after handling bananas. I will not explain it in this video. I will explain it a little bit in my blog post. I don't want to go too far with explanations here on the video and focus rather on the recipe. So these bananas are cut in half and laid on the bottom of the cake. And after a while, you will want to cut them a little bit smaller so it fits better. Okay, I'll go now and wash my hands. Okay, we're coming to the fun part now. So I will create some sort of dome with the cream. By the way, some people use, instead of the bananas, some strawberries. That's an option. It looks a little more colorful, but compared to bananas, the strawberries will not be as sweet, and then you should probably use a little more of the sugar. Now, I'm crumbling all this stuff here and put it on top of this little mound. Okay, I don't want to press it on too much, but at least a little bit, just to make sure it doesn't always fall off when you move the cake. So this goes now into the fridge, and while it's cooling, I will make the little mole. I will start with the pink, since it's the brighter color. And my hands might get some pink on it. So I mix this in. I want the hands and the nose of the mole to be pink. All right. And now the brown body. You can also make it black if you want. But I didn't want to go too dark. Oh, I've never opened this before. So if it's too dark, I think there's no contrast with the cake. So that's why I'm opting for brown. I would usually wear gloves for that, but last time I was wearing gloves on a video, it was like all this noise that they make, this plastic noise, and it annoyed me quite a bit. So I did that in the video with the beet salad. This time I decided not to use gloves and just get my hands dirty. So it's very warm inside in the house. It has cooled outside a bit, but it's still summer temperature. The marzipan is very, very soft and very sticky. But I think I got the colors that I wanted. I decided to use a little bit of confectioner sugar to counter the stickiness. Yeah, that helps. Okay, so now making a mole is not something I do on a regular basis, so I'm trying my best. I actually have never seen one in real. I only had the molds on my lawn, but that looks kind of okay. So I take a little bit of the pink. And give this a little bit of a nose. Stick it on here. And now I'm making the hands. So I try to make some balls of equal size. And I press it down. So that's the best I can do. I have a little bit left over, so I decided to make a tiny little earthworm. So now it's time to assemble this. I've decided to use some toothpicks just to make sure that our little mole is not falling off his mold. There you go. Isn't it cute? I gave it 2 eyes. They're probably a little bit too large, but that's the best I could do. Yeah, so the hands are not really what I'm very proud of. I did my best. I hope you appreciate the effort though. Okay. I would be curious, so if any one of you bakes this cake, I would be happy to see a picture of it. So now my little worm will go right here. And that's it. This is a very cute and very funny cake. I hope you enjoyed this video. Watch some more of my videos and check out the pictures that will come just after this scene. Bye!